Welcome back to class. Take a seat. Today we're going to be talking about self-sabotage, a subject that you know all too well about. Do you know what hurts the most? It's not that you don't know what to do, because you do. You've watched all the motivational videos, you've listened to hours of podcasts, and you've probably watched channels and videos like this so many times before. You might even wrote down plans of how you're going to take over the world and become a millionaire. Yet nothing has changed in your reality. You look around you and life has remained the same despite all the knowledge that you've obtained. So when you actually look at your life, nothing has moved. You're stagnant. And I know this because I know the feeling all too well. Because for a long time that was me. I was drowning in advice, but I was doing the exact same shit every single day. And listen, you might think it's laziness. You might think that you're making the same mistakes because you're stupid, you're ignorant, or you're just a fucking, waste of space. That isn't the case. Don't listen to those thoughts. They're not true. All it is just one thing. Self-sabotage. And that's exactly what I'm going to break down today, because once you understand it, once you can master avoiding self-sabotage, you're going to be unstoppable. And once you understand it, you'll see exactly why you're stuck and how to get out of it. So let's get right into it. As you can see,
This little alien man thing here.
is a work of art by yours truly. Just if you should observe and taking the magnitude of this drawing in front of you, the detail. See the slight Adam's apple there. See the little defined cheekbones he's been looks-maxing. You see he's got a little bit of a anus type vibe on his head because he's an arsehole. Yeah, that about explains it. See you in the next world, my guy. Okay, self-sabotage. It's quite ironic that I'm making a video about self-sabotage, because I am indeed one of the masters of self-sabotage. I've been sabotaging myself for many a year. But now I'm not that guy anymore. I'm the guy that's trying to pass on some sort of knowledge that I have gained on my own struggles of things like self-sabotage, and hopefully this is going to change your life when it comes to this topic. Alright, let's start with the first aspect, I should say, of self-sabotage, which is these little things called unless my dyslexia is kicking in, that should say micro betrayals. Micro betrayals. What are micro betrayals? So yeah, here's the truth. You're not failing. You're not self-sabotaging because you're lazy or you're stupid. You're self-sabotaging because you literally betray yourself every single day. It's become part of the way you view yourself. You view yourself as someone who you can't trust because you've been untrustworthy. And this doesn't have to be like major events in your life. It's just small things. It's you saying, oh, I'm gonna wake up early tomorrow and go for a run. And then you hit snooze in the morning. It's about promising yourself that you're gonna start eating clean and really cut this summer. And then you order junk food that same night. It's about telling yourself that you'll start tomorrow, but then never actually showing up for yourself and actually acting. Because every broken promise might not seem like a big deal to you at that moment. But what you're doing is you're slowly chipping away at your own belief in yourself. And what this does on a micro basis is that it eats away at your self-respect. You now become someone that you don't even believe. Now, this is something I can relate to heavily. I remember telling myself many times over the years that I'm going to fix my sleep schedule, that I'm going to stop staying up until 1, 2, even 3 and 4 a.m. in the morning playing video games or doing whatever. And for a long time, I would cope by saying, I'll stay up until 3 tonight, and then tomorrow I'll go sleep early, or I'll only play for another 2 more games and then I'll go sleep. And guess what? Nothing changed, because I was trying to negotiate with a terrorist, and that terrorist was myself. The first rule, you do not negotiate with terrorists, and that includes yourself, especially when you're trying to terrorize your own life. That's a bar, okay? You can't negotiate with yourself when you're trying to become someone you haven't been before. There's no room for negotiation. There's no room for saying, hey, we want to become this person who has high standards for themselves, but for today, let's let those standards slip, man. Fuck it, why not? Because these little incremental little self-betrayals, they really get bigger and bigger on top of each other, and then they become a identity for yourself. Every time that you betray yourself, saying, I'm going to do one thing, and when you don't do it, you're slowly proving to yourself that I can't trust myself. I can't trust a damn thing that comes out of my mouth. Just think about it like this shit. If you had a friend, like if your boy lied to you every single day about like little stuff, like you'd be like, oh mate, what's the score on the Man U game? And they just lied to you about it. Or they ask, are you able to do this thing for me? And then they say yes, and then they don't do it. Eventually, you're just gonna be like, mate, like, do you like me? Are we friends? Like, what's going on? And you're eventually gonna stop trusting in his word. When he says shit, you're just gonna be like, yeah, whatever. Whatever you say, mate, you're gonna start rolling your eyes and doing all that shit. And that's exactly what you're doing to yourself every time that you promise yourself to do something. and you don't do it, you're eventually going to stop listening to yourself. Your words are going to eventually just become background noise. And that is why I call it micro betrayals, because these little events that you do on a daily basis, it builds up to a massive betrayal to yourself. And these self-betrayals over the long term create a loop for yourself that you're not really able to see until you're out of it, or until it's too late. So let's talk about the loop. The loop, the loop, the loop is on fire. If you gonna wanna make that motherfucker burn. The loop. What is the loop? Let's talk about the loop. So the loop goes a little something like this. Okay, so let's talk about the loop. So what is the loop? As we all know, the loop usually starts with some form of distraction. So whether that's you're trying to distract yourself from whatever, whatever you're feeling, maybe you say, okay, I'm gonna wake up and I wanna do this thing. I wanna maybe go for a jog, go to the gym in the morning, but I'm distracted, let's say by my phone. So now I'm scrolling. I find myself, an hour's gone by. I was supposed to go to the gym an hour ago, but I've been scrolling for an hour. Oh man. Now I feel guilty. Now I feel ashamed of myself. I'm like, I'm such a loser. This is why I have no friends. This is why I get no bitches. This is X. You start building up all these cases about yourself or why you should feel guilty. And then what happens later is that due to your guilt, you're pushed to find something to get you out of that guilt loop. And maybe you go to TikTok or Instagram and you go to see your favorite self-help creator. Maybe it's Pierce Post, maybe it's someone else. And now you're motivated. You're watching videos. Maybe you're watching David Goggins edits, and he's saying, "Who's gonna carry the boats?" And you're getting all excited, and you're doing push-ups 3 a.m. in the morning. And then you wake up tomorrow and you're straight back to it. You're straight back to the habits. You're straight back to scrolling. You're straight back to touching your meat. You're straight back to doing the same shit over and again. And then you distract yourself from that, and it starts over and over again. This is the cycle that so many people are in, and you cannot break out of it until you're aware of it. This is a vicious cycle that has taken and robbed so many years of not just my life, but people's lives around the world, and it needs to stop. Because how many times have you said, I'm gonna start doing that thing tomorrow, or tomorrow I'm gonna do that. Tomorrow I'm going to do this, tomorrow I'm going to do that. Tomorrow does not exist. And tomorrow does not exist because the loop is stronger than your will to do something tomorrow. If you want to do something tomorrow, you have to start it today. Maybe that means, for example, if your goal is, tomorrow I want to go to the gym in the morning. Today you have to start something. Today that means, maybe today I have to prep myself, I have to prep my bag, I have to prep my gym bag, I have to prep my route to the gym tomorrow. So there's less friction for the thing I want to do tomorrow, so I'm not easily distracted and I don't get thrown back into this loop. Because the real issue isn't motivation, it's a lack of self-trust. Because you find yourself in a system where you no longer trust yourself. So let's talk about that. Okay, here's the truth that you don't want to admit. You are no better than your habits, because your habits equal your beliefs. Your habits literally, let me put S over there. Your habits literally show exactly what you believe about yourself. If your habits are that you wake up, you scroll on your phone all day, you watch porn, you play video games, you eat junk food, you don't exercise, you don't talk to anyone, these are all reflections of your beliefs about yourself. You probably believe that you're not that interesting, you probably believe that you're lazy, you probably believe that you're not worth anyone else's time, you probably believe that you're unattractive, and it's just a reflection of your habits, what you do on a daily basis. Listen, in this world, you have control of 2 things, yeah? Your habits, so what you do on a daily basis, and your thoughts, the things that you choose to believe in, and the thoughts that you allow to push you into your actions and your habits. That is it. That's all we've got as humans, that's it. And if you don't have control and awareness over your habits and your thoughts, you're doomed to repeat cycles. You're doomed to just be a victim of the society and the world that we're in. And we don't want to do that. We don't want to be victims here. Because the truth is, if you have bad habits, what you're saying to yourself is that I don't deserve self-respect. I don't deserve to live better than I'm living right now. I don't deserve to be happy. And each time that you betray yourself, all you're doing is proving that point. All you're doing is proving to yourself that you don't deserve better. All you're doing is proving to yourself that, maybe I am worthless, maybe I am useless, maybe I can't do the things I want to do. So I want you to ask yourself this question, what does your daily routine say about you? What does what you do on a daily basis say about how you view yourself and what you believe about yourself? If you have to pause this video for a second, actually think okay, based on what I do every day, what does that say about me? So how do we fix this? How do we fix having bad habits that reflect our bad beliefs? Let's talk about it. Because the main thing you have to do is rebuild your self-trust, rebuild your ability to believe what you say. So here's the answer. Here's the answer to your question. How do I stop giving myself excuses? How do I stop procrastinating? How do I finally become the person I want to be? How do I stop being a little bitch? X, Y, Z. It's simply that you have to rebuild your self-trust. I repeat, you have to rebuild your self-trust. You have to rebuild your ability to trust yourself. Not just trust yourself as in like trust yourself to do basic things. I'm talking about trusting yourself to have your best interest at heart. Trusting yourself to follow through with the things that are going to benefit you. Trusting yourself to become the person that you need to be in order to live the life that you want to live. This sounds very easy, sounds very simple when I'm saying it, but this is things that we all struggle with internally, me included, okay? So don't think you're better than, trying to trust yourself. Don't think you're more intelligent than, having to rebuild your self-trust. Because that is the basis for everything else in life. If you don't trust yourself, you can't do anything in this life really, because you're going to be very susceptible to other people's ideas, other people's opinions on you, because you don't trust yourself. So how do we rebuild self-trust? I don't know. I'm joking. Okay, so the first step to rebuilding self-trust is right here. You have to start small. You have to start by celebrating your small wins. Because if you have a big goal in life, like you want to maybe reach a certain weight or you want to have a certain physique, whatever it is, you can't only judge your progress towards that by looking in the mirror and being like, okay, do I look like this yet? No, well, I'm failing then. No, you have to celebrate your small wins. So let's say if for example, your goal is fitness related. Your small win might literally be the fact that you turned up to the gym and did a 10-minute workout that day, even on the day you didn't feel like going. Something that small, you have to be able to count that. Because if you're not even able to really bring awareness to the things you are doing towards your goals, you can't expect to really feel motivated or feel driven or feel like that you're actually making any movement if you don't actually bring awareness to the movements you are making. And sometimes that might feel like, oh, why should I celebrate this thing? It's so small, anyone can do this. But it's not anyone that's doing it, it's you that's doing it. And you're the person that struggles with this, so celebrate the fact that you're making progress towards it. Because if you can't be your own biggest fan, you can't expect anyone else to cheer you on. Like, you have to be your own biggest fan in this life. Like, newsflash for anyone who didn't know this. No one else is there going to cheer you on to do the things you want to do, to chase your dreams, to even make small, minute changes in your life. No one else is going to be there to pat you in the back and say, well done, it's going to be you. And that's the harsh reality of this shit. You have to celebrate your small wins in order to rebuild your self-trust. Because yeah, for me, a lot of the progress that I've made in my life, it just started with being able to not just like celebrate my small wins, but also literally just be aware of the fact that I'm making progress. I think that's something in today's society that we don't really talk about often. We don't know how to celebrate ourselves. We don't know how to congratulate ourselves for progress. We're constantly comparing ourselves with people that are 100 steps in front of us, or people that have started something that we want to do like 10 years ago, and we're comparing ourselves to these people. When in reality, the only person that we can actually accurately compare ourselves to is ourselves and our past selves. So what we need to do is understand that for me, when I started making progress on myself, the person I had to like lean on as a reflection to see my progress was my past self. I had to compare my current self to my past self, and I realized, okay, I am making progress. And it's simply as what I did anyway, was writing down at the end of the day the things I have accomplished that day. It sounds very simple, it sounds very remedial almost, it sounds like it's kids play or like a childish thing to do, but you have to bring awareness to the things you're doing to get closer to your goals and closer to the person you want to be. And that includes literally just writing down, oh, today I made my way to the gym and I actually did a workout. Today I drank 2 liters of water. Today I went on a walk for 20 minutes. Today I stretched. Today I meditated. These simple things that you're trying to do to become the person you want to do, you have to bring your awareness back to them. It has to become a habit for you, because once it becomes a habit, it becomes a part of your identity. Once it's part of your identity, it's very hard to get rid of, as I'm sure you're aware. So as I said, for me, a lot of the progress that I've made, the big stuff, is just starting from the small stuff. From reading 5 pages of a book today, going on a 10-minute walk, working out for half an hour, whatever it was. These things help build you to the person you want to be. So I want you to ask yourself this one thing, what is one thing that I can do today, not tomorrow, not next week, not a month, something that I can do today that could help me rebuild even 1% of my trust for myself back? Because I know both of us have done things in our past that have caused us to not trust ourselves as much. But what's one thing you can do today that will make you trust yourself even 1% more tomorrow? Have a second to think, and I want you to do that. I want you to commit that you're going to do that thing today. And this is the only way you're going to make progress. You have to commit. You have to commit to doing the small little stuff. And it's only then that you're going to be able to reap the rewards of the big stuff. So stop calling yourself lazy, because we both know you're not lazy. What you have been is stuck in a loop, stuck in a cycle that is no longer serving you. And you are now looking for a way out, which is fine. But what you need to be aware of is that the way that you choose to escape this cycle is going to be very important. Are you going to get further into the cycle by using distractions? Or are you going to escape it for good by building a new identity based on rebuilding your self-trust by counting your small wins? Because the way forward isn't by watching more motivational videos. It's not by watching or listening to more like podcasts or whatever. It's about simply rebuilding your trust with yourself, one small win at a time. Because at the end of the day, you have two options in this life. You either become your own biggest hater or your own biggest cheerleader. And only you have the power to decide what's going to be. So if this message did hit you in a way and you do connect and resonate with what I said, I want you to actually take a moment here to decide, what's one thing I'm going to do today that's going to help me rebuild my self-trust today? One thing, that's all I'm asking for you. And you can put that one thing in the comments. Let's share. Let's figure out together what's the one thing that's going to push you closer to becoming the person you want to be. Because that is how you start turning your pain to purpose. Speak to you later.